Good evening, everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there this evening. I wound up having to coach a tennis doubleheader that we had to reschedule a while back, and unfortunately, it made me unavailable for class this evening. I still wanted to go over the information that I'm going to be working on for the project for this class. The title of my project is Misrepresented: The Media Representation of Women in Athletics and Coaching Positions. As far as the purpose, the study was going to be an analysis of the media representations of a coach. And I want to look at it in the realm of the lack of female coaches being a direct reflection of the lack of representation of women in sports overall, specifically in the media. In analyzing different media platforms, it's very evident that sports is a good old boys club. Interestingly, though, the number of female sport that are participating in sports has reached over 3 million athletes in America. Some of the statistics that I came across that I found very interesting is that most of your high schools are going to want to hire a coach that works in the building. I'm sure if some of you all were to go back and think of the coaches that you had, most of them probably were PE or history teachers. In education, females wind up making up 77% of the overall population of educators. Out of that 23% of males that are educators, they make up about 67% of the coaches. This number really hasn't changed much in several decades. I think the highest that I saw, the number of women coaches might have been 35%, but it's been settling somewhere between 32 and 33% for quite a while. Title IX was signed into law back in 1972, and at the time, there was approximately about 300,000 women that were participating in sports nationwide. In the 50 years since Title IX was signed into law, that number has increased up to its highest of 3.6 million, and that was in 2016 and 2017. So it has increased over 10 times that amount in that 50-year time frame. And so it kind of begged the question, or the question rose, with the number of females that are participating in athletics, why hasn't the number of coaches risen at the same time? And I'm wondering if this was a direct reflection of females in athletics in regards to what you see in different sports media. The communication theory and framework that I'm going to utilize is the social learning theory. We talked about this in my family comm class, and Dr. Bienemy, if I'm off base and I need to pick a different theory or framework, please reach out and let me know. I was just trying to think of ones that I was familiar with because I'm using this one for my other project in family comm. And in social learning theory, individuals learn through observation and modeling. And so, kind of utilizing that, I'm thinking about how, maybe it begs the question: Are there a lack of coaches because we don't see them represented hardly at all in any of the sports media platforms? And I'll get into some of those specifics here in just a moment. As far as my methodology and data, I'm going to do a mixed method as on my study, and I'd like to analyze the sports media representation with different platforms, specifically films, TV, and podcasts. I looked at a couple of different articles where it had like lists of the 25 most popular sports movies. Interestingly, there are no female coaches in any of those films. There's only two that had female leads, and I think it was Bend It Like Beckham, and I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, A League of Their Own. And Seabiscuit made that list, which is a movie about a racing horse. So, of the 22 of the films were about male teams, two were about female teams, one was about a horse. Use that anecdotal data however you'd like. I'd also love the ability to be able to interview former female athletes, some that have been coaches, some that have been non coaches, but I would like to interview but they all would need to be former athletes. The majority of the data that I'm going to be collecting is qualitative, and so I'm going to utilize a time series analysis because when I'm talking to the folks in the interviews, they may be talking from different experiences and they've come from different generations. So um, that may affect their answers because maybe it might not have been an opportunity that was available during that time frame. Something that I found interesting when I was going through my literary review and my information was that when I was looking into podcasts and TV shows, it seemed to me that the smaller the screen, the more opportunity females had to take leads in roles for different shows, as well as sports podcasts. There are a lot of trends that I want to discuss and look into, but really the big reason why I wanted to look into this was I am a coach, but I'm also a father, and I've got a couple of daughters. I don't know that they would ever be interested in coaching. My wife is a former high school athlete. I wanted to, I asked her why she never got into coaching. Her dad was a coach, and so, just kind of looking at the kind of the why and how that's why that's happening because that number not budging for a number of years sticks out to me given the amount of opportunity that has been opened up. And maybe it's a so what theory, maybe it's a no crap hypothesis, but it is something that I am interested in studying. So thank you all for listening. I appreciate you giving me a few minutes. Good luck to everybody as you're finishing up this semester. Dr. Bienemy, if I need to do anything else, please reach out and let me know. I appreciate it. Thank you.